My name is Paulo de Andrade, and I will talk about the objectification of women in advertising. Throughout decades, advertisements have turned women into objects in order to sell their product. It happens in TV commercials, magazines, social media, and any other form of advertising. This objectification of women has a dramatic influence on them and on the way men see and treat them as well. In this presentation, I will talk about the objectification of women and some of the negative impact this practice has in their lives, especially in the lives of young women. As the documentary Killing Us Softly points out, we grew up in a society where women's bodies are frequently turned into objects, like beers, video games, food, and much more. This practice creates a climate that incentivizes violence towards women, and turning someone into a thing is almost always the first step towards justifying violence towards others. This objectification is evident in these beer commercials. In the Budweiser ad, it looks like the woman is coming out of the bottle of beer, while in these two other ads, the women are actually shown as the bottle of beer. But that's not only in beer ads. In this Arby's ad, the burgers give the impression of being two women breasts, and in the following ad, a piece of the woman's body is actually cut out, as if it was a cake. Turning women into things can have a very negative impact. Philosophical studies suggest that an objectified woman is regarded as something and not someone, and therefore they are treated as a tool for someone else's use. Objectifying women communicate the idea that they are actually not human beings, they are just a thing to be used by men. In addition, studies also suggest that men that sees images of sexualized and objectified women evoke patterns of brain activation more similar to viewing objects than people. The FTC Advertising and Marketing Basics state that under the law, claims in advertisement must be truthful, cannot be deceptive or unfair, and must be evidence-based. It is obvious that the way women are depicted in ads is not fair to them. It's hard to believe that after so many years and all the changes society has gone through, women are still treated in an inferior way in advertising. On top of that, the principle and practice for advertising ethics presents 8 principles that defend the idea that all types of communication should always do what is right for the consumer first, which then will benefit the business as well. Principle 8, in particular, says that advertisers and their agency and online and offline media should discuss privately potential ethical concerns, and members of the team creating ads should be given permission to express internally their ethical concerns. Clearly, they don't discuss much ethical concerns when it comes to the way women are shown in ads. Otherwise, that scenario should have changed already. It is possible to create great ads without objectifying women. Some agencies have decided to reverse the game in an attempt to change this problem, and now they are portraying men as objects. But as Kilborn pointed out in the documentary, when men are portrayed like that, they are shown as something big, strong, and in control. However, I don't believe that objectifying men in any way is a good solution for this problem. We need to keep principle and practice for advertising ethics in mind and make sure that whatever campaign we choose, we won't harm people in any way, regardless of their gender, religion, sex orientation, and so on. A great example of a step towards the end of this problem was presented by Madonna Badger, the advertising executive at Badger and Winters. She created 4 criteria to determine whether or not an ad objectifies women. The first one is, does the women have a choice or voice in the situation? The second is she reduced to just a sexually provocative body part? And then, is the image manipulated to the extent that the look is not humanly achievable? And finally, would you be comfortable to see your sister, best friend, or yourself in this image? She points out that if the answer to any of this question is a yes, so the ad will need to be revised and changed in order to be approved. I believe that if other agencies follow these rules, or at least similar rules, this problem will finally be solved. This Calvin Klein ad is an example of an ad that we would answer yes to at least 3 out of the 4 questions suggested by Badger. This ad in particular got the attention of the CEO of Third Love, Haiti Zach, who started a petition and a hashtag more than my underwear to take the ad out. The ad was out the next day, and it is a good example of how we can use Badger for criteria as well as the power of social media to change this issue. It's obvious that portraying women as an object in advertising can have different negative effects. That goes from their self-esteem to the way men see and treat them. We, as brand professionals, need to keep our public in mind at all times when creating an ad, to make sure we won't offend anyone. Badger for criteria is a great step towards improvement and hopefully the end of this objectification of women. And hopefully other companies will follow her steps. Thank you.